All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the prelog for the magical girl story of awesomeness. So yeah, I'm working on getting this thing up and done, and I must say I'm almost done with it. So yeah, as you can see, I've the first two pillars are done. The third pillar is also done, and I'm now working to the last pillar, and then after that, we can start coloring them in. So that's what I have been doing. Well, I had been busy with the rest of the, like the thumbnail for the Magical Girl story. So yeah, I had to put it a little bit on hold. But uh, today I started it again. You know, it's Monday, so I started it, and it turned out pretty great. I must say myself, I was very entertained upon knowing that how fast I actually got back into it. Like, you know, drawing the background a bit, and I'm very happy and fond of it. So now, no further ado, let's get started. So what I'm doing here with these things is like every single time I made a copy of the original one, I horizontally shifted it, and now I'm actually drawing over it again, and then change up the icons. This will create uniqueness, and it will make sure that the eye is still, you know, in the eye of the beholder. It's not all the same, which means that it is not going to get bored. And that is a very important thing. Come on, work. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I actually want to make sure that everything is running as it should be, but I should be fine. Yeah, like that. Good. So yeah, a lot of things happened. This week, or well, last week. I have now a whole week that is free. I also had some uh, minor minor issues I had with cooking, but it should now be fixed. I actually changed my diet a bit to less rice. So instead of 100 grams of rice, I actually go to 50. It will fix a lot of it will fix a lot of issues because technically that would be fine. But let's see where that is going to be ending us. No, well, but it's going to be ending me. But yeah, I'm very happy that I caught it early, so that's good. And I hope that will fix it because normally 100 gram rice is a little bit too much, I think. So yeah, I switched it to 50 and kept everything else the same. So the amount of vegetables and the ratio of meat is the same. So it's a little bit of a diet, but it should be now decently solved. So right now, I actually there you go, done. So as you can see, I am adding in the different kind of ideas with the sigils, and then try to do something with it. It's not always unique, but every single time when you do something like this, it will create more of a feeling towards it, and the more you do this, the more you get. It's not a very easy word here. I'm looking for a word and I cannot recall it. Ah boy. Well, that's what you get when you try to live stream and everything is alive. So mistakes will be happening anyway. But so far I'm getting good. I'm also gonna be doing Wednesday. I'm gonna do a Temtem stream again. Sadly not sadly without the co-host because of issues that occurred in health. Yeah, I think that's the word, right? Yeah, health issues. He has like a sore throat, and he's not able to get towards that towards the streams because he wants to spare it and he wants to recover from it. So yeah, I hope it will go away soon. I'm really, really hoping though. It's a real shame when you have like always need to cough. It's horrible. You don't wish that on anybody. So we got that, and yeah. I hope everybody liked the little intro. I hope it went quite. I hope I did press the button quickly. I'm not as fast as it should be with, switching over because I was still busy posting the link, but it should have been now fully implemented. So yeah. Now, what are my ideas for this week? Well, my idea is to get this. My idea is to maybe be able to get the whole 4 pillars done by today. So I want to actually have all these pillars done by today, and then tomorrow I will be working on coloring them up, and then after that I will start working on the background. After that, there's gonna be a lot of what is it called? Lighting? Yes, lighting and darkening of certain types of places. So I add a third color probably towards something, and then add in a light source. So that's what I'm aiming for. Of course, it can always change. It can always differ, but at least that's what I'm going to be aiming for this week. I'm trying to get this thing done by this week, and then posted it on the on Pixiv after that, and hopefully I can then start designing some of the characters inside of the building. So inside of this drawing, I'm gonna be doing the characters separate just to make sure that I can position them in the drawing and remove them while I'm talking over them or within the program, the visual novel program. Maybe I need to say that precisely. I think. Yeah, that would be a smart move. Really? Yeah, yes, I want this, and then I want this to be like that, and then I want this to be like this. Yes, there you go. Now I have a different one, but it's almost the same, but I do like that one. So yeah. Oh, I see a mistake there. So yeah, I'm very happy to continue working on this, and I'm almost excited to make sure that I finish this, like, within a week. That would be great. That would be amazing. And yeah, progress. It's important. What the hell? Yeah, progress. It's important, and I'm very fond of it. Seeing it happening, at least. Also, with the thumbnail, for instance, and I did also do some I also did a drawing with how do you say that? With I got from a friend. I got a drawing, and I was like, hey, we could try to exchange each other's picture, and then well, each other's drawing, and then draw it in our own style and see what we can come up with to get inspiration. And I was like, yeah, that would be a great idea. And yeah, it worked. I was really fond of it, and I really see the improvements and where I can get from there on. Of course, not everything needs to be done, but yeah, I also worked on that this week. Oh well, last week. Let's say at least today is Monday, so yeah. And for the rest, I'm doing actually quite fine. Honestly, I have been working on getting my food done properly, aiming to remembering that this week I need to make sure that tomorrow night I need to make sure that I put down the vegetable garbage can on the street so that the tomorrow then Wednesday they will pick it up. I must not forget that because the one is very full. So yeah, I was like, yeah, that would be nice if that thing would actually be taken away, so I can refill it again with new stuff. Well, new green stuff, that is. There's no plastic, and you cannot use plastic in those things. All right. So yeah, uh, working on these things is also very fun. The most fun I always have with these things is like it's very relaxing, and most of the things that I do with them is also very relaxing. I usually, when I work alone, when I'm not streaming, I actually listen to music while drawing. It calms the mind a bit, and it helps me, you know, keep on moving onwards. And I'll tell you this: if I don't set myself a timer, I will get lost into the drawing, which is bad. But if you start up like if you wake up 7 o'clock and then start drawing until 10, it's not a big deal, honestly. And I like that. I like that idea of having having the motivation to draw and then continue to draw even after hours. Like today, I actually was drawing after I got myself the vegetables for today I needed to get. So I did that. But the fun part about it was actually that I went to to two supermarket markets and compared the food with each other because holy hell, it has been getting expensive. Well, in one supermarket, the other one is like, nah, expensiveness. What is that? It's still the same prices as 1 year ago. So yeah, I don't know what happened, but the supplement of one of the supermarkets went haywire in prices, like 20 cents in 20 cents of getting more expensive is quite a lot in uh, most products. And I mean then vegetables and food and meat for most things. So what I did was like, yeah, I will compare it. I will see if I can get it cheaper there, or I need to switch out. I normally don't like it because I don't like to change my supermarket every single time I have to double check. It's very annoying, but it does help me a lot on keeping a cheap price. Like today, I only spent what 10 euros on food, so that's like $10, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, 10 euros on the food for today, and with that, I also got drink. I also got for instance, I had to buy bread again because well, it was empty. So technically, every day I spend $10 on food and life supplement for eating. And I must say that's not as problematic as I suspected to be because well, $10, 10 euros each day is $70 in a week, which is quite normal for one person. I don't think you can do it cheaper though. Well, you could, but then you will be definitely losing into. Uh, you won't be able to get a very healthy lifestyle, or you need to continue to do sports, which is also expensive. And with the upcoming winter, it's not a very advisable thing to do it outside. It's very chilly right now here. Like, 5 degrees, -5, those things. I expect there will be snow this year, so I will be very happy. I actually have been waiting for this kind of cold weather for quite a while. Like 2 years ago, we didn't even had it. We didn't even had fucking cold winter, and we had like a very long time we had cold winters, and then 2 years it was not existing at all. It was like, oh, it's just some wet snow. Wow, wet snow. Could you imagine that? Just wet snow. Well, you always had white snow across the whole place, and then sledding. You sled down the hills on your cardboard down the half pipe. Yeah, those things went away like in what 5 years ago, and then after that a 5 long year of absolutely terrible snow. No snow on Christmas, no snow on New Year, nothing, absolutely nothing. It was just a bit dripping cold. It was not even cold actually. It was just 5 degrees. I was like, wow, 5 degrees for just this, absolutely horrendous. So yeah, I actually really I'm happy that it actually returned. I was a bit worried, but now I'm not. I know that nature can, continue to grow, even if there is some bad things going on, but it also can recover, which is good. It also helps that the recoverment also was caused by multiple things. So, that always helps. No, I made a mistake there. So yeah, working on the Prelog, it's one of those things that I always like. I can always, figure out like, oh well, I have to improve this, I have to improve that. It's always a little bit of an issue, like where do you need to look at if you want to improve your visuals, and that's always a good thing. If you want to improve your visuals, you always need to look at where you can improve it. For instance, I can improve them um, on the character design, and right now the character design is actually getting better and better and better. And the more I do this, the better it gets. So, after all, the more I do this, the more I get towards the end. So, oh wow, I made this into a. Oh, that's so bad. Jeez. No, go this way. We don't want to have a goddamn line go from point A to point B without being straight. That is absolutely a horrible idea. And why I'm doing this manually, why do I make manually straight lines? Because it is more natural. It feels at least much better. And then go down. There you go. Easy. So yeah. Stone symbols. One of the most time-consuming things ever. Well, it's not as time-consuming as drawing goddamn wood, but it is one of the time-consuming things because I need to make these stone symbols on the pillar, but I also need to make sure that I have those symbols on the pillar in such a way that they actually are different than the ones that I have. Which means I have to draw them manually again. Otherwise, I could have used the same pillar twice, 3 times, 4 times, but it will be shown, and then the whole magic of it gets lost. You won't be able to see it properly. Well, you're not supposed to be seeing it anyway, probably, but it's more like the flavor behind it. The idea like I can copy things. No, you're not supposed to copy things if you draw it. If you want to copy things, then you get a copy printer. But you don't copy things if you don't need to. One of the main issues I always had with these stamps, they are too predictable. And if things are too predictable, it will get boring. That's how my mind always works. Like, man, what the stamp can do? It's like, yes, even an AI can do that because it's calculated. Therefore, you can use it. But if you draw manually and you draw like the textures manually, you will feel that you will get the mastery of knowing how to draw the textures. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. The better you get at it, the better the result will get afterwards. Which means that if you do it like that, the how do you say that? If you improve upon the textures while learning how to do it, you will improve upon your own art. If you improve upon your own art, then you can continue to improve. If you cannot improve upon your own art, you eventually will be getting stagnated, and if you get stagnated, then well, it's either a good thing or a very, very, very bad thing. The main problem of it is always like, if you draw and you already have everything mastered, then the result will get fine. The result will be fine, but the principle behind it, like you always need to find your self improvement, is getting lost. And if those things get lost, then you will get lazy. And if you get lazy, it will create hard times. Because, well, eventually eventually people will spot like, oh, you're doing it like this, or you're doing it like that every single time. And then, they can copy the work. And if you can copy the work, then, then the things get bad. That's where I always lead it to be. Like, you always want to improve upon yourself, even though you might not want to do it now, you might not want to do it later. You just need to be critical of yourself, seeing like, oh, I made a mistake there, I made a mistake there, oh, I made a mistake there. All right, fine. Then next time I will improve upon these mistakes and I will leave them out when I work on them, or find a way to prevent them if I can find one. And you will try your very best upon this, and that will give the hold on, that will give the drawing a much more unique feeling towards it, because you are trying to do your very best upon fixing the things that you have created. And yeah, I really like it. I really like that about that. I really like that about it. Just improve upon yourself, get better at it, and always be critical about yourself. Be also reasonable with what other people say about it. It's like, well, this is the problem. All right, fine. Then I will try to improve upon that. How do you then improve upon that? Well, you practice, 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 and then eventually you get to it. Because trial and error is one way of learning it. The other way is learning it by a book. But the book learning is a very, very different approach. You read about the mistake, and then you discover the way of how to do it by reading the context in the secret layer of bloody blue. I don't know. I had that once with. I always had that with doing biology. It's at school. What I always did was literally reading the book instead of practicing because I figured out that the book was actually the easiest way to learn learn for a test. Instead of learning to do tests, I actually learned what the source was about and then implemented that in the questions. And that way I actually went pretty high with it, actually. Yeah, eights, people, eights on your 8 out of 10 for learning how to read a book. But yeah, reading books was fun. Only encyclopedias, informative books. I never had something for reading visual novels or whatever. It never suited me, because I was always like, I want to learn something. And well, now I'm finally getting towards those things of like, I need to learn how to do things, but I still not reading books. It might not be a very smart move. I know that it's not a smart move not reading a fucking book about visual novels. Therefore, you don't know how to do visual novels. But the way how I learn how to do visual novels is by reading the whole damn goddamn paragraphs of how to create one. It's not reading other people's ideas or other people. Well, you do listen to them, but you don't read them. That's because, well, if I would be able to read it, if I wanted to go that approach, it's not practical for me. And why is that? You probably ask. Well, it would take me probably a year to learn it that way, instead of like learning it on the fly within 2 months probably. So yeah, the approach of reading it by or learning it by reading examples of them and then forming your own opinions upon them, it creates a very strange approach. Like, well, you read a book, book, right? I have not read the book, no. Sadly not, I have not. I read it though. I read it a whole encyclopedia about how to do it. So I guess I can do it. That's and that's how most of it always goes. You know, when I'm a more of an informative person than reading a whole drama series about Nikolai the Fourth and his space cosmonaut doggo. I don't know, something like that. It's not my way of doing it. I am more of a visual person. I'm more of a, reading the context, reading all the science behind it kind of guy. I'm not a very you know if you ever see me, I probably will not be the person that will react upon like seeing the other person like hello. No, 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 no. I will definitely just be the person that is like, oh, it must have been the wind. Because my vision of like looking at people, my vision at communicating with people would only goes so far as all right, I need to talk to this person, then I will talk to this person. If I don't need this person, then I won't talk to this person, and I will not waste his time, neither my time, and therefore I will be efficient enough to continue on what I needed to do in the first place, which is learning how to do this. So that's how I normally approach. I'm a very, you know, uh, in, how do you say that? Informative person. Yeah, I like to be informed. I like to be planned. I like to be doing everything that needs to be done in this way. And if it doesn't go that way, then I will figure out how to do it the other way. But I'm not gonna be doing it in a way that is inefficient enough for me to waste more time than I already have. So yeah, it does create sometimes problems. Don't get me wrong there. Don't get me wrong. Ah, all right. We're almost there. We're almost at the end of the goddamn stones, and I love it. Sometimes people always ask. Sometimes people always ask, like, all right, why, why would you draw a goddamn pillars with so much detail? And I always say to them, like, because I like to. I really like detailed pillars. I like to see some I like to see livelihood inside of the drawing. How do you say that? The expression alone that the pillars give into the drawing is very important. It gives the drawing a kind of uh, feeling, a kind of idea, an emotion that drives the whole drawing. The same goes with the throne. If you look at the throne, I can do it now if you want to. Yeah, I do that now so that everybody can see it. If you look at the throne right now, it's very red colored because I wanted it all to be like, I like to have a red themed castle. Because you have a bad guy sitting on the throne, then you're supposed to have a red kind of feeling towards it. You need to make it evil, so therefore you go for red. Well, that's the way to do it. But I also like to have this like very gentle approach, like not too much of a feeling that it's evil, but it needs to be, boom, there it is. That kind of feeling. So yeah, right now I'm trying to get this last pillar done, and then you can see that the pillars, they all have different sigils on it. And what does this create? Well, because they all have different sigils on it, it actually creates variety in the drawing. And because it creates variety in the drawing, it actually gives the viewer an idea of like, all right, so every pillar is not the same. So the whole drawing, if I look at it, I will find more. You get the point here? You look at the drawing, you see more. The more you see, the more you get. The more you get, the better it gets. And of course, I can, make pop-ups of these pillars and then zoom in and then give text with it. I can make all these little images happening. I can actually do that within the drawing. Well, not within this drawing, but I can do it within the system that I'm doing, the visual novel. I can actually technically translate all these symbols so that everybody knows what is written on it. Even though, it might not sound like real language, I don't give a shit, but it gives the idea. And if it gives the idea, it actually gives the idea of what is going on. It also makes the drawing. It also makes it also sets the setting. There you go. Blah. Whoa. Lots of words and lots of difficult words actually. But yeah. So Wednesday I will be doing some. I'm gonna be probably gonna do some streams, some gameplay streams, and then the rest of the day I will be able to work on the pillars. Well, I'm gonna be also working on Wednesday on the pillars, but I'm gonna do that like in the back of my head, like, all right, I need to do this, I need to do that. Then, well, continue working on it, but on a different well, like I did it today, like 3 hours, and then do the stream the next day. So 3 hours of work will be done on Wednesday, but not visible. There you go. Now I got the words. Jeez, took me long enough. But yeah, it's always fun to see what kind of ideas can occur when you're doing these things. Like drawing the Morphog also gave me like ideas of like, all right, if I want to do it this way, I need to approach it this way. Not no longer I need to do it the other way around, because otherwise I will be screwed. And yeah, it definitely showed. The Morphog project was one of the most. It was the same as the boat project. It was a very intensive project. If I would have worked there on the an hour a day, it's already collapsing me from the bottom out because of the amount of things I need to do. It was a very high amount of work, and you need to do you need to understand that if you do high amounts of work, you need to make sure that you're putting them into little how do you say that? If you have sheep and you herd the sheep, you also need to make sure that they are in the right box. So you have a blue sheep, a yellow sheep, and a red sheep. But the yellow sheep doesn't like the red sheep, so therefore you put it near the blue sheep. So yeah, you need to be always on your toe of like, all right, I made this mistake. How do I fix it? How do I do that? And the more I did the Morphog project, the more I understand, like, all right, what are the limitations of this program? Ah, it is that. Oh, it is this. All right. How do I prevent this from happening again? And it's clearly shown that the drawing of the Morphog project is unique. Yes, true. And I always try to continue upon that idea. And well, I'm still busy learning how to do the original style in a better way, in a more efficient way than 1 hour of work is like 1 hour of work technically is 3 hours of work in total. Yeah, the Morphog project and all the other things that like the church project that I did, they are big chunky boys. They are really really time consuming ideas, and they are great. Trust me on that, they are great, but they are no fun if you're on a tight schedule. But the good thing about them is actually I learned how to, time it, how to get around it. Like, oh, it's already 20 minutes in. It's already 20 minutes in. Ah, okay. So then I have achieved this, or I have achieved that. All right, good. Then I know where. Then I know where I need to go when I have these problems in the first place. And I like that. I really like that I can see what happened and what is going to be happening after after that time. So yeah, for instance, right now it's now 35 minutes in, or well, 34 minutes in, and we're almost done with the pillar. So as you can see, this style is technically not the same as the Morpha project, but it is also in another way it is. The whole problem with this drawing right now is like, okay, how do I imagine it and do I draw it? This is why I always prefer, doing the sketches off screen, because well, it's easier for me to do it, and I don't have to use too much brain power for talking and drawing at the same time, because that always gets me so hard. Like I'm trying to explain things, and then when I try to explain things, I'm like, oh wait, this is not right or that's not right, but continue just to talk is better than, uh, taking a break from it, because you just need to explain to the audience like, all right, I'm doing this right now, I'm doing that right now. For instance, here you can see that I'm doing um, the little how do you say that? The little pillar stump. The little pillar stump that then, connects everything again with the pillar. And it's important that I continue doing it. It's also important that I know where, the other bits are. So I know that there is one here, so I need to cross it there. And that's the difference between the other one and this one, for instance, is that the place where the stump begins is different than the original one. Because if I don't do that, I will get in serious trouble, even though most of it is not the right way. For instance, if I would have done it the other way around, so like if I didn't do it like that, now you already can see there are some issues here, which is true. These issues will exist. These issues will continue to exist. So how do we solve that? Well, we're going to solve that by drawing a line, drawing a second line, and then drawing that line from here. Yes, from here. All right. Ooh. All right. Now we're gonna smack it out. So, and we want to make sure that if I do this the way how I intended to do it, which is it's a very hard thing to do normally. I want to now make sure that I do it rightfully. So, where is it? There it is. Here it is. Making that line, getting that one there, getting this one there, getting that one there. And now you have the idea of what is going on. Because of the... Oh, that's a little bit too hard. There you go. Now we have it, and now we need to make sure that we have still the rest of it. So as you can see, it technically exists of only two plates, the front one. So what I'm going to be doing here is doing the same thing again. So 2 plates. And why I'm doing it now like that is because of consistency. You want to know like, all right, this is 3 plates. All right, fine. And I'm going to cut it in 3. Because if we don't do it, then, the consistency of the goddamn pillar is actually wrong. Jeez, and I knew that I already did a lot of ahs today, but that's because I'm actually thinking. Could you imagine, knowing that if you are talking, that every single time you talk, you always give a little notice of when the thought process is coming on? With me, it's always an ah, like, I know what I need to say, so therefore I will say it this way because I need to think before I need to talk. Oh boy! But for the first, it's good, It's a bit cold here. It's like 13 degrees, but not an eye bad. I already had my good hot stew today, so it's always good. I know how to eat. I know how to create cool and nice food. And that is a very good thing, having good food, having a good life, making sure that you're doing the thing the right way, making sure that you're, constantly in good condition, making sure that you're doing sports, whatever, and keeping yourself healthy. It's one of the things that makes you, happy. At least me, at least, making myself happy by doing the things that I always don't like to do, which is technically, doing the dishes. It's one of the most annoying things to do, is doing the dishes. But the good thing about doing the dishes is that I'm actually very like, What had I on mind again? Oh, wait, nothing. Okay, good. So yeah, listening to music while doing the dishes, and then, continue doing the dishes afterwards. It's always a blast. Oh, look at that. How nice. How great. I really like this. I really like this one. Mm, so great. All right. Hold on, hold on. This one goes there, this one goes there, and boom. Now we need to get this one away. Yes. All right. Now, since that we're doing this the way how I do it now, it is that these pillars are very strong and powerful. They create the things that you want, the things that you need. Nah, they tell a story of a great and mighty foe that arrived upon the battlefield, crushing the foes behind them. Yeah, something like that. Probably I will write down like something epic, something epic, something very cool. Whatever is cool in back in the day, when you have like a cool warrior beating up multiple people and making it very unbelievable. Like it needs to be a thing that nobody ever accomplished, and therefore this dude is amazing, or this champion is amazing. Let's put it that way. Champion is amazing. Ah man. So yeah, achieving something, and then that is why this great and mighty thing has happened. And I like that. I like that idea. All right. Phew. All right. A lot of talking today, but that's good. I have not been talking in quite a while when it comes to these things, to these streams in proper way, like without having too many of a break because of well, I was been working on something, therefore, I cannot talk. I'm luckily not a person that is always doing the same thing every single time, but I'm doing quite well now. Ah, look at that. And I did not even copy it this time. Sweet. Kaboom. Ah, yeah. Now we're almost there. Almost a pillar done. And I then have totally different icons on all the pillars. Therefore, all the eyes will be amazed. Well, at least, it's a lot of work, but hey, work is work. You gotta deal with it sometimes. Alright. Now that we are done here, I think I want to make an... Oh, I can make an hourglass out of this. Sweet. I will. Like that. And then, we can then continue here. What do I want to make here? Probably a fish or something. That's always fun. And you can let your imagination go loose on these symbols. They don't need to necessarily mean anything, but I do want to make something out of it, like a story. Even though it might sound stupid to make a story about, about the pillars, but hey, I can do it because it's a visual novel, so why not? And a visual novel is actually just, a program that is technically not yet fully interactable. Well, at least I didn't make it fully interactable yet. So I need to also implement that. But hey, I like that. I really like, messing around with a program and then, see how far I get on it. And maybe I can even put it on Steam. Well, that's at least, the end result, and, put it out for free, probably. Because because books technically supposed to be free. That's why libraries exist. Because if a library doesn't give free books, then I don't know. Sounds a bit stupid. I actually in my village we actually have a library, and the library is like, all right, you can read here books freely. Just just put them back where they belong. When you're done, it's like, oh, thanks. Don't mind if I do. All right, now we need to get this one up and running. So we need to get detail here, so like that. All right. And And then we're gonna go here. And this time we actually have the line over here instead of the place where it's supposed to be. So now I actually need to draw it a little bit more longer. Oh no, a little bit longer than before. What are the odds? And this should be fine. I must say though, I'm very happy and very fond of all of this. It's always great to see that the amount of stuff that I do. And then, continue on working on it anyway. Ah, beautiful. Now that we are done with this, we can now finally erase the big boy, which is this one. Now you can see that the light, now the shading is gone. Now most of the thick lines are also gone, which is good because, well, you don't want those. And you can see that, yeah, it's done. Of course, these things are still not fully perfectly drawn, but I can fix that in no problem, right? Yes, I can. All right, first things first, saving it up. It's always good. And, ooh, 64 minutes already in. Ooh, fascinating. Now we only need to continue on making sure that we have this bridge being connected in a proper way, because this one is fully angled. This one, hell no. So yeah, we need to make sure that that is correctly placed. Those two are on the same line. That's good. The pillars are good. The pillars are on the right line. This one, however, is not fully on the right line, so we need to get towards this one. Yes, we need to do this one, and we need to change it up a bit so that it is actually technically on the same line elevation as the other one. So I'm gonna lower it down a bit, like so. Boom. Nothing to worry about at all. And now we actually need to also implement that. So that's how you do it. So you figure out like, oh, well, there is a problem here. I can actually fix that. Yes, true. So now we need to figure out where it is. This one, yes, this one technically needs to be fixed as well. So we can actually work on this one first. All right, so what is the problem here? Well, the problem is that it is not fully angled like a bridge. So technically this bit right here needs to be fixed. Like so. Yes, like so it needs to be fixed. So I need to grab this one, I need to grab this one, and I need to grab the other one I don't need to grab. Good. So, yes, and then grab this again, and we can move on. Like so, right? Because I need to technically do it like this, if I'm correct. No. All right, hold on. I need to erase a bit in here, just to see what else. And I might even need to redo this. Oh no, I need to redo this. No way, that's a long thing to do. Oh well, I don't mind. As long as the end result is pretty, it is actually worth it at all costs. At all cost, it's always worth it. All right. Almost. Almost. Come on. Nope. Nope. Need to zoom out for this. Let's put a red on there and then, continue from there. And then I'm gonna be doing that anyway. So like this, like that. There you go. Okay, good. So that's the light I need to go for. That's the line I need to aim for. All right. That's doable. That is doable. That's so fucking doable. Alright, then I need to make sure that I put this on a shady business and then, add that one. But looks like it is 50 minutes in, so I will call it quits because of, well, I need to always make sure that I only do 50 minutes of drawing or 1 hour, but I cannot do this now because I am not fully concentrated on it in one way and well, I would have continued if it was not working on the pillar. But because because this the top part of the pillar, it requires more than 10 minutes. I rather prefer, uh, doing it another time because of, well, there are some issues here. Like for instance here, I can show you what the issue is right now. This run right here, it's not fully perfectly placed, so technically this line needs to be going from here instead of that, but it also needs to make sure that the arch is actually there. So technically the arch needs to be over here, which can cause major issues, but it should not be a problem too much. It's only that, if I want to do that, I technically need to... Hold on, is this on the same layer? No, it's not on the same layer. Good, 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 good. So technically I need to move this one like over here. Now I can actually do this. So this needs to be like that. And then this is gonna be the end result of the pillar. And then I need to also make a sketch on it so that, this thing is technically, again, the same height as it should be. So there's going to be a line here, there's going to be a line here, there's going to be a line here again, one here, and now one here. This would technically then be the right way to do it. That's why I actually now need to, take a break from it, because otherwise I will make a mistake, and I don't want to make a mistake here. And, well, that's what I want. So, no further ado, thanks all for watching for today, and I hope you all have a lovely day. And